Francis Ford Coppola is taking you back to high school English. Hello everyone and welcome to Movie Reviews by Josh. My name is Josh Terry and today I want to talk about a documentary that is about one of my favorite movies. So you might be familiar with the movie Apocalypse Now, which came out in 1979, set in the Vietnam War. It's got Martin Sheen, it's got Marlon Brando. Very, very intense, very, very surrealistic, okay? Very, very celebrated Vietnam War movie. There's even 3 different versions because of multiple director's cuts and all this kind of thing, okay? Now, Apocalypse Now is based on a book called Heart of Darkness, and you might have read Heart of Darkness in high school. It's written by Joseph Conrad, it's set in Africa. It's about one man who is sent to assassinate another man who has gone crazy, okay? Francis Ford Coppola took the Heart of Darkness story and transposed it into the Vietnam War. Now we have Captain Willard, played by Martin Sheen, who is going up the river to assassinate a colonel named Kurtz, played by Marlon Brando, who has gone crazy. So Hearts of Darkness is the documentary of the making of Apocalypse Now, and it's made up of footage that was shot at the time, but it also includes audio clips from recordings made by Coppola's wife, Eleanor, who was taping things for her own private diaries and her own private records. But they also reveal the process and the crazy trials that Coppola went through as he was trying to make the movie. So on the surface, Hearts of Darkness is the story of the making of a movie, kind of like the special features that you would get on DVDs and Blu-rays. At a deeper level, it's a portrait of a man trying to bring his art to life and almost losing his mind in the process. Now this is a pretty well-known documentary as far as making of movie-making documentaries go. You might even be familiar with it if you've seen an episode of Community where the dean has to make a new TV commercial for the community college, and Abed documents the dean's descent into madness. It's actually a parody of Hearts of Darkness. They actually reference it in the episode. But if you haven't seen any of this stuff, probably the first thing you'd want to do is see Apocalypse Now itself, which I gotta say is probably one of the most engaging and memorable movies I've ever seen. I kind of want to call it one of my favorites, even though it's something I can't universally recommend. It's set during the Vietnam War. It's very surreal. It's meant to be kind of a psychological exercise. It's pretty violent. It's got some profanity in it. It does have some sexual content depending on which version you see. Yeah, so you should kind of keep that in mind. Even if you haven't seen Apocalypse Now and don't plan on seeing it though, Hearts of Darkness is still a really, really fascinating character study. Now it's also rated R, but mostly just for the language. You don't see a lot of the content from the film that made the film rated R, but you do have some of the language from Coppola and people behind the scenes who were dealing with typhoons and actors having heart attacks and other actors showing up unprepared and out of shape to do their roles and all kinds of other just crazy things going on. Not to mention the creative ambitions of the director himself, who's coming off Godfather 1, Godfather 2, movies like The Conversation. It's really just something very, very interesting and engaging. And so if you like documentaries, if you have any interest in Apocalypse Now, Francis Ford Coppola, Zoetrope, they talk about the Zoetrope company and kind of their quest to promote independent filmmaking. Any of that stuff, if it's of interest to you, and if you haven't seen Hearts of Darkness, I would definitely see it. I think I'd probably also recommend it if you have read Heart of Darkness and haven't seen or heard of the other stuff. You also see a lot of other famous people. You see Robert Duvall plays a key role called Kilgore. In fact, a lot of people, if you've only heard of one thing from Apocalypse Now, you might have heard the line, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning," so they talk about that. You also see the future director of Lost in Translation. You see Sofia Coppola at about age 4. And you also see Scott Glenn kind of lingering in the background, even though he's not ever kind of named or referenced or anything. So just lots of kind of interesting little tidbits and Easter egg type stuff for people who like movies and that kind of stuff. So I would definitely recommend Hearts of Darkness for those of you who are documentary fans. I give it a solid 3.5 stars out of 4, maybe 4 stars out of 4, depending on the day. So what was your favorite book in high school? Or what's the book you hated the most in high school? Leave your answer in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe on your way out and leave notifications on. This has been Movie Reviews by Josh. My name is Josh Terry, and I hope this finds you well. Take care.